My name is Matt Goodman, aka Matti Roots, and this is my SBTV producer's house. I got into producing about, I don't know, 10 years ago or so. Just bought a sampler, was an avid record collector, started messing around with just cutting up sounds and just, just making my own kind of beats and stuff like that. And then I just kind of was making kind of drum and bass and garage and dance music mostly. And yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it. I've been playing music since I was 3, just instruments and piano and sax and things like that. So I kind of come from a musician's background. I used to write as well, write music for like jazz. I used to do quite a lot of jazz as well. So yeah, but once I got into the kind of more technological world of actually being able to like create a record, I just kind of didn't stop from there. It was still going really. Okay, so this is my like percussion corner really. So I've got egg shakers, cowbells. This is not a percussion instrument. It used to be a shanai until the reed fell off. This basically is like if I had a snake, it would be dancing. Over here, obviously, we've got a drum kit, which I'm not the world's best drummer, but I do play a little bit, and more often than not, I'll get somebody down to come and play drums. So on my album, for example, I've got 3 amazing drummers, different people coming and playing on different tracks. I taught myself bass and guitar many years ago. This is a bass. It makes bass sounds and it's low, and this is a guitar and it makes higher sounds. This is a saxophone, a soprano saxophone. I used to play a lot of saxophone. I don't play so much anymore, but yeah, a lot of time spent just kind of learning my chops there. That's my piano there. We have a Yamaha I forgot the name of it now. S70XS, and it does all kinds of great things like, let me show you, it's actually got a vocoder on it. So it's got a really cool thingy, what's it called, vocoder on there, and then a whole heap of wicked sounds. It's basically, you might know a motif, the Yamaha motif, which is a classic synth, loads of everyone uses that thing. It's pretty lush. It's got a massive variety of stuff. The pianos are good. This is a sampled C6 Yamaha grand piano. I'll have you know, if I can find it. So yeah, it's pretty decent piano sound. And then over here, we have the Korg K oscillator, which is actually a new piece of kit. I only got this recently. Just getting my head around how to best incorporate it into my music. It's basically a kind of synth thing. It does loads of kind of effects and whooshy sounds, and makes beats, obviously, something like that. I have to say though, it's not quite as good as this, which is just, I love this thing. It's called a Bebop. You need this in your life, basically. Logic, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, and I tend to use the XS24 for my drums and the battery as well. I've got a whole massive library of sounds that I've collected over the years from my vinyl collection, from my CD collection, big stealing and borrowing sample CDs from different people. And then I've got a whole heap of other plugins in here, everything from, Absinthe, Massive, the Pro 53, load of Native Instrument stuff. What else can I tell you? That's a Cabasa. I don't have much in the way of Outboard, but this thing serves me really well. It's an Amec piano in a box, pure path. It's made by Rupert Neve, who was pretty much the kind of pioneer of sort of British audio engineering. These are very old speakers. I've had these about 10 years. They're very dusty, but they're good. They're actually hi-fi speakers essentially, but they're very clean and they don't overemphasize anything. So from a mixing point of view, they're pretty decent. My Mac, which is pretty much the heart, the liver, kidney and the lungs of my studio. So yeah, that is pretty much that. I mean, there's so many producers, and they all have different things that you can kind of learn from them. So, you know, in terms of like the kind of beat makers, like, you know, Dre and Pharrell and Kanye West and all these types of people, but then you've got the kind of more people who are more into arranging and things like Quincy Jones and Arif Mardin, and then, you know, they kind of, I don't know, there's some really interesting people like Rick Rubin who, you know, they're not necessarily musicians, but they come from a different point of view. You know, I'm always interested when I hear a record that I love to look on the back and see who's behind it. I mean, Stevie Wonder, you know, the influence he had on his productions, you know, people probably don't kind of appreciate almost, but or don't know, you know. But yeah, I mean, he's a great producer as well. So yeah, just people with vision. Sometimes, it probably sounds weird, but I envy people who don't play instruments, because there's almost like a kind of, there can be like an explorationary kind of way you approach an instrument where it's like a baby picking up a tambourine and just never heard that sound before, and it's totally sort of unself-conscious. So sometimes when you know so much about an instrument, it's hard to kind of break out of the rules. Just by adding, like, you might have a piano sound, but just by adding one little plug-in, stick some distortion on it, and suddenly it becomes something completely new. I worked on a track with Wiley, but I never actually met Wiley. You know, it was one of these things where I had a track, and it was kind of a song that I'd written with a friend of mine, and it got passed to him somehow, and he loved it and said, I want to MC on it. So he just kind of did his thing and then sent it over. I was really impressed how he kind of found a quite fresh way to just sort of introduce the track and do his kind of little middle bit bit in the middle, and it just it complemented the concept of the track really well. I really like what Labyrinth's doing at the moment, and I find James Blake's stuff quite interesting. I'd love to work with Stevie Wonder, you know, work with Prince, work with Quincy Jones, work with Pharrell, then work with, I don't know, I mean, I'm really open, to be honest. I really, you know, I'd work with rock bands. I really like everything. I like what they're doing. Yeah, I'm missing out a whole lot of MCs. There's loads of MCs. I like some of the kind of new guys coming out at the moment. The Odd Futures lot, the whole Frank Ocean thing, and I like that stuff. And then UK MCs, there's a bundle of them that I'd love to work with. So yeah, just anyone that's just vibrant and full of music and just wants to make music, because, you know, I'm kind of happy to just explore and push myself as well and go in different directions. This track's called Slipping Away. I did it with this MC called guy called Bentos from Bermuda, wicked musical guy. So it started off with this, which is basically a cut up. It's a cut up. I'll turn it down. It's a cut up drum, old breakbeat called Orange Crush. Just really simple things. Then on top of that, I added another little clap just to give the snare another texture. This is the bass, which is, it's basically the massive synth, and it's one of the presets on the massive synth called Basswizer. I've also added another little sound, which is, if you can hear that, it's the sound out of this machine here, which I reached for, and it's like a subtly in the background you can hear that. Synth, you know, arpeggiated synth. I think that's from the Predator. And this is the kind of sound, the chord sound bed. And then when the music drops, you can probably hear in there as well, little tambourine shake there, just again to give it a bit more shuffle. So with every that's basically this track, and yeah, Slipping Away, Bento, watch out. This is Matti Roots on SBTV's Producer's House. You've been most welcome. Now it's time for you to skedaddle, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.
Moving, you got me all twisted up. Something that you're doing. Well, I'm trying to pretend, yeah. It really doesn't mean that much to me. You've got me acting foolish, just trying to get through. I got OCD, trying to make